Instead of looking at that person, pointing, blaming that person, oh, that person's this, and challenging the person, look at yourself first. And ask yourself the question, am I Christ-like? Am I acting in a way or thinking in a way Christ-like? But again, I don't want to go into that. That's a later video. But I just, I see a lot happening, and it needs to be addressed. And I'm here not to stir up a fuss or a contention or problems between groups or anything. I'm here to spread love. I don't care if you're religious, or you're a Christian, and that person is not a particular Christian, or you're Muslim. I don't care if you're black and you're white, or you're brown or you're white. It doesn't matter. What matters is your heart. And behind your heart is your pure intentions. And to each and every day, your thoughts, your words, and your actions matters. Your efforts matters. And everything and everyone you come up against or in and around you in your everyday, it matters. How you think, how you treat them, how you treat your neighbors, friends, families, people you don't know. Those things matters. But anyway, again, I don't want to go off and lose my chain of thought. But again, people are just so concerned, so caught up in just wanting their own coins, focus on their own coins, and F your coin, or I don't care about you and your coin, it's all about my coin. And what is it's like, okay, everyone just focus on their own bags, and it made me look at something that which is interesting. Let's have a look. And what I had to have a look at was a post from Satoshi Kusama. This is the person who's behind Shiba, and who is basically looking like they've aligned behind SHINA also. But what is interesting about this post Satoshi said was, everyone is trying to pump their bags instead of trying to save the world. The selfish focus will bear no fruit. I repeat, the selfish focus will bear no fruit. Are we listening to that? Everyone is trying to pump their bags instead of trying to save the world. Satoshi has a plan. This plan is not just to pump a bag. It's not just there is a core plan behind this. Sex trafficking is a huge problem. DJT is making you aware it is a problem. It has been a problem. And we're going to solve it. And if this is what's going to get the attention, the public's attention, what a way to do it. What a way to do it. So again, as I usually do, I have a look at a particular name, or and go into it and try and code it, decode it, or have a look at what it means, simplify it, kind of thing, and having a look at SHINA INU and what it meant also had a few resonation with me as well, where it resonated with me, and I thought, okay, I think that made you go, So looking at this, what stood out to me was that bit where it says, of Jesus. Now, we all know majority of the community behind SHINA is believer of Jesus Christ. And if you're involved in this particular coin, then what is it saying here? Are you going to rule out that information that says that is of Jesus, SHINA? Coincidence? So there are other things, like here. And not just that, there are many other things after this video that, only if I feel led to share, I will share. What if I'm not, then unfortunately I'm not able to, and I trust the creator, the universe, the spirit guide, that timing is of the creator. So and the creator's timing is impeccable. And when is the time to make that move, I will make that move. I will know when it's that time. Just like I know it's the time now to do this. So, again, we're going to mention time, and look at that. It's time. You just can't make it up. It's time. And then also what got my attention as well, God is good. That's all under SHINA. Bearing in mind we're under SHINA INU. We've coded SHINA INU. God is good. Also another thing, Ethereum. Isn't SHINA INU? How are we able to get SHINA INU right now? And isn't Shiba Inu on the Ethereum network? Isn't SHINA INU currently on the Ethereum network? Is this a coincidence? Could it possibly be a coincidence? Begs the thinking, eh? Can only be a coincidence if you believe in coincidences, that is. But again, so moving on, here is just a quick little brief of the article, article in which Ryoshi talk about SHINA, well, not SHINA, but she, as in SHI, the ticker symbol she, being sort of like a stable coin, hinting about, and that's what they're gonna bring out. But again, like I mentioned, SHINA came out soon after, and then they've not gone ahead and officially announced any form of stablecoin to date, or any form of treat or reward token to date, but yet SHINA INU has been launched and now is building on something which is called, they're even introducing something which is called a burn mechanism, in which they'll help Shiba as well as themselves. So the woman will help the man to also burn token to be better. So are we seeing what's happening? So the woman will help the man. The woman token will burn. The burn mechanism will not only benefit SHINA INU, but will also have benefit for Shiba INU because of, the staking and the burning, etc., etc. And as I'm aware, many of you guys could, know what I'm talking about. So, but yet behind it is a male and a female coming together as one. Interesting. Moving forward, I also thought this was interesting, which is again, it looks like a mistake made from KuCoin. They had some information put out there on their system in which they mentioned some coins, including Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, etc. And they were meant to list Shiba Inu, but again, it states SHINA INU there instead of Shiba Inu, which was, in my humble opinion, could be a hidden type message. Again, just putting pieces of puzzle together. Now, many of us, that is, I'm sure I've spoken to a few people who has been seeing, quite a lot of 222s, in their lives at the moment, which I never knew before. I became aligned to these people, and now, they're experiencing the twos, which initially, how the 222 started from was with J.TRUMP 4 and Woo Dude, years ago, when it started to happen in my life. Like I mentioned in my previous videos, how the 222 started to take an effect in my life, and it was between myself and my partner. So it's as if, I needed to know that I'm in the right place, and the right time, and not be worried, or what I mean. So there was a lot of things happening in and around the 222s, and obviously I needed to have a level of understanding what it is, and using my level of discernment to discern what it could mean, as there could be multiple meanings to the 222s, so again, I could go in a whole rabbit hole on the 222s, but I'm just trying to keep it short and sweet. And throughout my last few years, it's been definitely appearing continuously, and over the past, like, let's say a year or year and a half, I've met the person that I mentioned called Jay, which is over there in the States, in the US, and a brother, a really, really, really good brother. And interestingly enough, we've been experiencing a lot of 222s between ourselves. We became aligned within the time of Shiba and SHINA INU being out, and from there onwards, we've seen some really incredible stuff in terms of spirituality, and what's happening with the numbers, i.e., we send messages back and forth, or the recording audio would be like 22 minutes and 20 seconds, or 22 minutes 22 seconds, or 2 minutes 22 seconds, or and it was quite fascinating to see. It's as if, it's a nudge from the universe, from the creator, from spirit, guys, like, you're onto the where you're in the right place. What you're seeing or what you're doing now, it is okay, it is well. Fret not thyself. And as time goes by, I used to see it happening so much that I became familiar with the 222s now, and what it means to me, and the meaning it has to me in my own life, and what's happening. I'm gaining a level of understanding to it. And it's just funny how the universe and the creator is connecting these people that sees these numbers. And when you see the 222s, or however you see it, it's not, you don't sit down and say, I'm just going to look at 222 today, or I'm just going to do that. I'm going to wait by the clock and wait to see if it's 222, or I'm just going to look for every car that passes by and I see 222, or when I go to Sainsbury's or I go to a shop, I'm going to purchase something and it'll be $2 and £2.22. You're not specifically going out doing those things intentionally. The 222s appears like, now look there, okay, this happens, like, have a look at this, have a look. So it's like, it's just amazing in the way it works. It's never something you sort of time. So when me and my friend Jay, we talk back and forth about stuff that's happening with Sheena, and it's just amazing. how the universe speaks to us in terms of with the 222s and the 444s as well, you know. But again, I have to give credit as well to you know, Snippy J Snip 4 Joe, for you know, aligning, you know, coming towards his alignment with the 222s, you know, and also the 44s as well, you know. But like I said, it's a bigger picture in regards to those numbers, you know. But anyway, so the 222 alignment, you're in the right place and at the right time. Okay, so we're gonna have a look at another sign on synchronicity where the twos is aligning itself again, you know, gravitating my attention, and it's like, okay, here we go again. So here what you're looking at is an image from SHINA INU, posted this on the SHINA website, and what you're looking at is obviously SHINA on a golf course, and there's a golf cart there, and as you can see, it seems like someone is tied up, or whatever is tied up, wrapped up there, tied up, and SHINA's on the golf course. Now what's interesting is the messages on this picture, and it got my attention. Now I don't know if you can see it from there, and I know you probably cannot, but there's a message here, just here and here. These are messages, and that's a message. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Now it's zoomed in, so now we can see the message here on the cart. Who's tied up there? 2, 2, 2, 2. Can you possibly see that? I'm not sure if I can zoom in anymore. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? That's it. Can you see that? Right. So we're zoomed in. Let's go back out. Right. So you can see the messages there, 222. Why would they have that on the cart? Why would 222 be there? And I am wrapped up around that 222. And like I said, the whole point of even the whole concept of this 222 and the 444s is like everything that I'm doing is like, it's like what I'm being shown right now throughout what's happening is just love and unconditional love, and irrespective of what it is, who you are, it's just like, you know, and the coming together, and unity is strength, you know, a coming together, even with the likes with my partner, because there's been a lot of things where it's like would want us to pull apart, because maybe the power that the enemy is scared of, you know, what we're gonna do going forward. So they will challenge you, you know. And I used to get these messages for myself with the 222s and the synchronicities, but then it starts happening with my partner, which also helps to reassure me that, okay, you know, this person is okay, this person is right. It's like the universe confirming to me, reconfirming, like, look, you're in the right place at the right time. Be humble. And see things for what they are. So again, that it's just so much around that, but again, that may be for another video. But just getting into this, it's like another 222, and again, that would definitely get my attention. And that's four twos there. Right here is where there's message here. Okay, right here there's a message here, but obviously, you know, that's for maybe another time or another video, or, you know, and I'm sure there are people out there that's seen the message, know what that is and what it means, you know, those little pebbles on the grass there. And like I said, both myself and the Jay has spoken about these type of things, what's happening here, and we've delved into it, you know, came to a level of understanding, you know, back and forth. And when we send audios or information, it will be like 2 minutes 22 seconds, 22 minutes 22 seconds, you know. The timing of the when we send it as well, bearing in mind we're in different two different countries here. So sometimes, you know, he's in the States and he will send a message, but it's like 9 a.m. in the morning in 9:22 in the US, in his country. But then in the UK it's 2:22. You know, so the timing of when he sent that message, it will come across in the UK as in the hour gap difference, but it will come in to show you that there's a connection going on. So yeah, again, my apologies, there some road works happening outside the house, you know, so apologies for that. But yeah, on to what I'm getting at is there's a lot going on here in regards to the numbers and what's happening, even with the likes of myself and few friends as well. Also, there are friends that I've also not mentioned their names. Not that I have a lot, but there are one or two others that I haven't mentioned that surrounds the twos, and I've been aligned to them, and it's just amazing. And my mind's blown in the way in which we've been aligned, and they've been seeing the twos, they're part of it, and they're also involved with SHINA, and it's just like you cannot make it up, you know. And the person who's actually gave the word on SHINA, it's like I'm now in, you know, direct contact with that person. It's like you just cannot make it up, and there are no coincidences at all. So again, moving on with the 222s, it's just for the ones who has eyes to see, let them see, and for the ones who has ears, let them hear, you know, because many people, you know, we tend to hear things, but we're not actually listening. We tend to see things at times, but we're not actually looking, you know. And again, many things are aligned for you, and it's meant for you. If the universe, if the creator wants it to be for you, it will come into your life in one way, shape or form. It will. So yeah, so moving forward, just the twos there again, interesting. So one may ask, you know, if I'm still in and around the 222s, or, you know, is there evidence to show that, you know, the 222s are still, you know, this is a hospital, as you can see, room number 222 there. Not myself who has entered that hospital, you know, I didn't go into that hospital. This is someone else around the world. You know, this person was in a Telegram group of Jason 4, and I'm in that Telegram group, but obviously I do my usual prayers, meditation, you know, pray for everyone, children, everyone, just pray across the world. And what's interesting is, let's pause that for a second. What's interesting is the 222 came up again. What happened was, after a prayer, I felt the urge or the nudge to check on my Telegram, go into it, went into my Telegram, and lo and behold, I went into J.TRUMP Telegram group and someone sent a message over. And the message states, okay, for you praying folks, I'd love some prayers. In hospital, and I shit you not, sorry for that French, in the room 222, I'll get my boyfriend to get a pic of the room number. Crazy thing is, apologies, crazy thing is, I woke up 2 nights ago at 2:22 a.m., then 3:33 a.m., and then 7:07 a.m. And I said to myself, something is up. Look at the timing of their message. They sent that message at 11:22. That's another 222. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2, 2, 2. In simplifying terms, in my terms. So that's another 222, and it got my attention. Hence the reason why it drawn to me, because I like I said, I'm surrounded with the 222s, etc. So it's like I got straightly, I got in, like, focused on that message, focused on the person, and straight away I get the urge of, like, tell him he's gonna be fine, it's okay, we've got him covered. No way, that is the message to say, we're here, you're in the right place, it's gonna be absolutely fine, don't worry yourself. And I felt that within my spirit. So let's see. As you can see, this is the reply. It says, room 222, I appreciate you all, etc, etc. My response to the person was, I think Spirit has you covered, and they want you to know that. Fret not, for they are with you. My prayer of healing goes out to you. And I kid you not, I did immediately went and sent some prayer of healing for that person. And we're going to have a look at their reply now. Let's check it out. So now what you're looking at is the person response or reply to my, letting them know, Spirit's got them covered, it will be okay. And again, the 222s, etc. He went on to say, Healer 888, you are so right. I am okay. Amen and hallelujah. I'll give a brief description of this, okay, cluster screw in a couple of days. Okay, so that person basically confirming to me what I have felt within my spirit, felt what I've, intuitively known, like, okay, you're fine, you're covered, it's okay. The universe, the creator, the spirit guides are here, they're for you. This is definitely telling me that anyway. So that's why I had to let him know. And I felt like even the timing of the message when he sent it, it could have been 11:21, it could have been 8, it could have been any number, but it formulated the twos again, 11.2222, so again resonated with me, got my attention, so I'm still in it with the twos. So you ask, I'm still going through with the twos, and this is a proof that the twos are still very much active in my surrounding, in my life. And not only in my life, but also in my friend, which I've told you about, my brother over there, Jay. These are twos appearing in his life as well, 22.22 feet when he does a measurement, something he did there, and it came up exactly 222, sort of grabbed his attention. You know what I mean? Interesting. Also, here again, he sent me another image. His mileage, 222 miles, 122.2 miles. You know, you get that wink from the universe to have a look now, and you look, and that's what come up there. Here is also a message from my partner, which, as you can see the title there, My Soul Beauty. She sent me a message saying, you know, she's just walked past, had the nudge to look at that license plate, seen the 222 there again. So again, twos are still surrounding our space, if you get what I mean. And like you see here, this is another 222 of J's 222s. Is still being very much active around him. Like I mentioned before, it's nothing where you sit by your phone waiting for it to change from 221 to 222 and you snap. No, it's just getting that, you know, you're there doing something, having, you don't even care about the time, but you just get that like, okay, look at the time now, and it's like, whoa, okay, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, and he's also sent that over to myself as well. So how I mentioned today, I was thinking about the 222s and, you know, the meaning behind it, or my interpretation, or what it is, my perspective on things, etc. And, you know, you're in the right place. Some may see it as an, you know, I'm looking at it from a angelic perspective or an angle from that, and not sort of biblical speaking, you know, with the 222. So I said, you know what, something came to me. So I said, let me have a look at, you know, the 222s in terms of what it is. And bearing in mind, you know, a lot's been going on where people's been saying we're in the end times, you know, children's having children, this is happening, that's happening, it's prophesied in the Bible, da 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 da. So it's like, okay, let's have a look. And the first thing came up when I put what is like 222, you know, in the Bible. The first thing came up was Revelation. And lo and behold, Revelation seems as this in the King James Version Bible, it's the last chapter on the book, in the Bible. And then I'm looking at it thinking, wait a minute, Revelation 22 verses 2. So it's like 222 again. So let's read it. And he showed pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of God and of the Lamb. And the second, which is the 22 verses 2, is in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life. Tree of life. Who remembers the Maria Conwell? When I read that, the prophetess, what she said, what she initially said about the tree. Can anyone remember? Well, I'll just remind you. She said, a new coin I will present to you. It is small and hardly known, but will grow into a tree of produce and multiplication. This tree is called SHINA INU. Now it is nothing, but it will grow in time and produce like a mustard seed. The tree. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits, and yielded her fruit every month. Does that not sound like multiplication? Does that not sound like but it will grow in time and produce like a mustard seed every month. Okay, let's carry on. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. Healing of the nation. Oh, healer 888. Okay. Healing of the nation. Who has actually spoke about healing of the nation? Let me think. For the ones with the ears that's been hearing, I think you guys or girls, you know what I'm alluding to. Healing of the nation. So I'm sure that's been mentioned before, about someone in particular giving a speech, healing of the nation, etc., etc. But again, so much to it. But let's move on. So I was just giving you, looking at even relating the 222s to other things, not just maybe other perspective like angelic perspective, but not that, but biblical, see what it is. And so either way, wherever you put the 222s, it is resonating with me on that same frequency, the same energy. I'm feeling it, so it's like, to each thing you look at, it makes sense. It makes sense, and you can fit the pieces together, and it starts to make a picture. The puzzle, you're starting to make a picture, and it's like, okay, whoa, I'm onto something here. Interesting, but again, the main point of everything, in my humble opinion, is love, unity, compassion, forgiveness. Forgiving not only others but also yourself. And throughout my journey, that's what's actually I'm going through, and also being in an alignment with the 222s. I'm also shown when I think when I'm being tested, so you get that feeling like, okay, we're in that time now where we're all getting tested right now, and wherever you may lack a slight weakness on, that's what you're going to get tested on. And we just need to stand in strength, stand in faith, in your own efforts, by your own free will, and stand for the greater good, not only for yourself but for others. Stand for the greater good for humanity. So it's a big picture at play here, and I'm just astounded to what I'm seeing here. But anyway, so moving on, connecting a bit of fours with SHINA, and myself, partner, etc. Connecting the fours, seeing the fours, and a few meanings, etc., what it means as well. So the 444, in my humble opinion, protection, and sort of reconfirming from the universe, from the creator, from great spirits, that the universe and your spiritual guides are protecting you. And yeah, there's so much to say with this, personally, but again, some I have to just hold back on. But the 444s is very interesting, and I believe it also ties in with SHINA as well. So let's take a look. Or maybe before I take a look, let's have a look on the other version, because obviously, like I said, this may be the angelic version, or terminology or perspective, how others are seeing it. But let's look at it from a more, the biblical side. Let's take a look. So now, the biblical version, which is, like I said, I get that nudge to have a look at the Revelations. Revelations 4:4, you know, 4:4 or 4:4. So it says there, Revelations, after